Yep.
Got
like
cold.
a fingertip.
She's full.
Jack me up some.
What's up, guys? It's freezing cold outside right now. I can't even stand it, so we gotta clean up some of this mess here. I've got a mess back in the corner. We've got engines everywhere, which isn't really a problem. I don't mind that. We just gotta move them around every time, but we gotta have some clean space to get some work done around here. So I'm just gonna clean up this little area on this side. It'll take like maybe 15 minutes. It's gotta get done. Tim cleaned the table. It looks amazing. We hope wherever you guys are that you're staying warm because it is cold here. I'm gonna add some wood to the fire and get to work.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday. We're back in the shop because it's cold outside, frigid. We got some snow. Told you about that in our last video, complaining, whining about the snow. We got Mrs. Art Captain herself over there cleaning up her mess. She made some nice stuff. We got big blocks in the way. We're doing the deed today. So it's trucks, and more trucks. What we got going on here is where we left off. Is the 8-lug thud. Used to be the 8-lug dud. Kept blowing up LS motors. Been showing you what I've been doing. My lips are red. I had a slushy. Red slushy. They'd be like, Tim's wearing lipstick. Anyways, that's creepy. Anyways, so last night's video ended with just me boxing one side. Last night I came back down in here and I made the devil of all mega box frames. We have our plate cut out. I could barrel sand those a little bit. I might. But then we got our mega cross member in here, 4-inch cross member to match the 4-inch cross member under the engine. That motor needs to come out because we're going to get it warm enough in here to where this afternoon I can paint. I got to get a shop vac and suck the 40-year-old minimum pine needles out of the sides of the firewall. And just going to give it a light wipe down, and basically from the windshield wiper studs down, I'm going to paint that firewall black. I'm going to paint this black. I'm going to stop at this seam. This will all be black. This will be black. I'm going to go down in there. Cab mounts are still in good shape. I'm going to scuff those, paint them. I'm going to wipe everything down. And we're going to paint it all the way out to the tip of the frame. The only thing I'm not going to paint is the front axle because I want to get the devil wheel out. If you don't know what a devil wheel is, let me show you what a devil wheel is, okay? I'm sure a lot of you probably wonder what I'm going after, but these are devil wheels right here. Especially if you got long hair, flannel shirts, kids, life. You still got some years on your life. These guys right here will take years off of your life. So you got to be careful with the devil wheels, the wheel of death, whatever you want to call it. For an 06 front axle, it's dusty, crusty, rusty. Man, Ford. Ohio and Ford. I'd hate to be a Ford in Michigan. But anyways, we got the track bar done. We got the steering box back on. We're pretty much good to go. The springs don't need painted. We're going to take the shock off so we don't get any paint on the shock. That's pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to do this because we might need to push it outside. Or might need to start getting the front end back on it. Or we might go get an engine. We got an engine we're going to try, so we may end up going to get that. We don't know yet. But this motor needs to come out so I can get in there and do some painting, finish up some grindings, finish up a few things. Some of that stuff's hard to get to, so the welds don't look the prettiest. We got to keep the shop moving in and out. We still got Blake's truck here. The only thing left to do on Blake's truck is put the back bumper on it and cover the hole in the floorboard And that's basically it. Maybe a few zip ties here and there. I'm looking for a piece while I'm talking. But anyways, that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to get a chain. The truck's getting a good stance. It's sitting good. The back end starting to come down a little bit. A few times up and down on the lift. It's got the springs going back where they should go. I don't have the rear spring hangers or the front spring hangers done on that, but they are in and welded. It's all an experiment. Someone online said that I'm the only guy doing this. I don't know if that's true or not, but he said I'm the only person putting radius arms on a stock 68 GMC frame. There might be a reason why I'm the only guy doing it, but if we get it strong, I mean, new frames are stronger. That's the thing. So make this frame just as strong as the old frame. Everything should work. Let's get to work. All right, we're gonna do a little basic engine pull here. Now we're not going to jump this engine. We're going to take this engine apart, rebuild it. We're going to do another whole little video series on that. Old school small block rebuild. See if we can save any money, make any power. Come over here for a minute.
Okay.
Jack me up some. What do I keep saying? I keep saying I got to jack. What I keep saying? I got to jerk this off real quick. It didn't work. Yeah. That's good. Thank you. She pulls engines, folks. All right, now I'm gonna have to get a strap under the transmission's bolted in the back, but the front will be loose. So I'm gonna get a ratchet strap, go over the frame, under the transmission, over the frame, back, and then we're gonna keep the transmission in there. We're gonna pull the motor out. We'll be back. All right, just need to get in here. I just got like 3 bell housing bolts in it. Start getting them out. Now I moved the engine forward on this for a couple reasons. First time I put it in, it was too close to the firewall. Valve covers wouldn't fit. I don't have a lot of experience with these firewalls in these trucks. I'm more of a square body guy. I know what fits in a square body. So first time we had the motor mounts in, it didn't clear anything. So I moved them forward probably 2.5, 3 inches. That gave us plenty of room forward. We're also running divorce transfer case in this truck, and every inch that I can get the motor forward is farther forward I can get that transfer case, which worked out good because we can run stock forward drive shaft. Nothing crazy. Should come right out. Well built. Comes right out. Thank you, mock-up engine. Oh, baby. $50 cherry pick. Look at this, man. We got more science going on. Look at what my bread did. That was
That's
nice.
the bread?
I guess that's what that is.
Oh my god, it is. It's so hard as a rock.
Yeah.
That's wood.
It turned into wood.
That's what people are eating. White bread.
Yep.
Listen.
Yeah, that's the old bread. Try bread. Why didn't you use the bread trick? This grease trick works just as good.
Holy moly.
A follow up to the pilot bearing.
Hard that.
Yes, ma'am.
It's
Got
like
pulled.
a fingertip.
It's weird. It's weird.
Kksevens stepped in to sponsor this video with the KS02 1600 watt magnetic induction heater kit. The induction heater tool can heat threaded nuts and rusty screws and is also suitable for heat treating a variety of small metal parts in automotive and mechanical applications. This 12-piece induction heater coil kit includes different lengths of the most commonly used coils for removing rusty bolts and plugs into any outlet. Minimal assembly required, and it's so easy to use. Now let's see how it does on these bolts that have been attached to this horn since 1955. There's no way I was getting these loose with a wrench. Made with an ergonomic non-slip handle designed for comfort and a secure grip, The induction heater is also equipped with a cooling fan and an overheat protection system. Induction heating is a precise heating method for heating materials such as metal much faster. The magnetic induction heater bolt removal heater operates using high-frequency magnetic fields, delivering rapid heating to stubborn metal parts. As you can see, it takes no time at all to heat up these old rusty bolts, and they come right loose with just the turn of a wrench. No power tools needed. I highly recommend this to use in every shop. I had no idea anything like this even existed, so I'm excited to try it for ourselves. Make sure to check out the link in the description and get your own Kksevens KS02 1600 watt induction heater. This thing is lightweight and easy to use and makes your job so much easier and quicker to finish. Be sure to follow the link in the description.
All right, look at that. Next, we're going to get in there and box the rest of it now. Get in there and clean it all up. Hit some of my ugly welds with a grinder. See if I missed any welds. Clean up some stuff. Do some more work. Just when you think you got things going your way, you'll find a nest, a mega nest. It's a little rust in here. The cab's pretty solid, and I already put cab corners and rockers in. We got to get this out. If we don't get this out, moisture will just collect in there, and it'll get worse. All right. That's nothing like Fab Rats had to deal with, but that's pretty sucky. I had to cut a hole, but it was already rusty anyway. You can't see this, so I'm going to make a little patch panel, put over this, get some paint on it first. I'm going to make I'll go ahead and make my patch panel. I mean, I could get all technical and restore this, but I'm not going to. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to make a panel that fits it out of probably a piece of aluminum. Boom. I'm going to paint it first, get it all in there, paint everything I can, get tractor paint all over it, soup it up, put my plate over there with some rivets, and then paint on. Can't restore the world, can you?
No.
You just got to drive them.
Yeah.
I think the other side's crammed just as bad. Shop vac's way heavier now. All right, now I know this one's crammed because I can feel it. So this is already rusted out, so I'm going to cut a hole so I can get my shop vac in there. Look at that.
She's full.
That wouldn't have lasted very long at all out in the real world. As soon as that got wet. Just give it the old blow up. Still blowing out. Hey. All right, now I'll make an aluminum template. Look at that, rat poop hands. Pop riveted on there after I paint all that. We'll be back. All right, what's going on? We're in the shop. We got some paint, the brush. We got everything wiped down with some thinner. We're just going to start giving her to her. So I'm just going to paint basically from the seam out and down, just trying to preserve everything. It's in a restoration. This is a fix. Keep it going, keep it alive. Save it, drive it, enjoy it. Looking better already. Love it. We'll add a little thinner to this paint. She's a little thick. It's technical. This is how everybody does it. All the pros. Yep. Got me no sawzall blade, stir it up. Perfection. All right, she's looking like $1 million. More than halfway through. Button this baby up. All right, there she is, painted black, tractor black, gloss black. The only way I could get any shiners is if we put some hardener in it. I didn't put any hardener in it this time. I just wanted to get it painted black so we can move it in and out. Don't want all that fab work to rust, all that raw steel. Once it starts rusting again, it's hard to get it back to clean. Everything was pretty clean from the welding and fab process. But there she is. It does suspension-y things. Got 37s on it now. It's going to get a little taller. Probably, I wanted to run 38.5s, which I'm hoping that still clears. Looks like it will in the back. If that's 37, we go 38.5. I call that a 39, whatever. But that looks good. We'll go back, we'll patch these in. I'll show you that tomorrow. I'll make panels out of aluminum. I got a piece of aluminum hanging on the wall for 5 years. I'll make a panel and we'll use some of that useless black RTV silicone. That won't make a gasket, but it's silicone. So we'll, that's where your fresh air comes in. Now that we got it opened up, we can get the vents working. If they're not mouse piss rusted shut. So we'll see what we can do. But anyways, that's a wrap on the firewall and the frame. The next step is I'm going to reposition it on the lift, clean up. Next step for this, and get this front end out. Give it the front end the death wheel. Get the front end looking shiny and push back in. And then we'll start buying parts for the front end. We'll check the ball joints. We'll start buying brake calipers. What we're going to do is we're going to get brake calipers for the axle, and then the brake hose for that caliper, and then we'll build new lines from our proportioning valve down. The rear line's good, so that's what we're going to do with that. I need to order my pitman arm, tie rod, and then figure out how I'm going to connect. I'm sure there's easy way. I just haven't figured it out yet to connect my steering link to my steering arm, and then that'll be go in, finish the paint, put it all in, and torque it all down. Start getting stuff in. I do have to definitely change the axles in this front end. Change the gears in the axle in the front end, because we have a 456 spool in the back, and I want to do a little partying with this truck, and I want to have a drive shaft in it. This is an all-around everydayer, so we're going to put a 456 in the front. So I'm either going to bite the bullet, do that myself, or find some local here who can do it for me. I can do it. I've never done one of these. Might be easier. I can't believe I'm saying these words, but it might be easier just to find somebody to do it for me. Be nice if there were some other YouTube people around here and they had skills and could do that and swap those gears out. I'll do it. I've done Data 60 in my van. I put that gear in. It's 456. So there she comes. Probably the next step is might get a motor tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to do. We'll have to figure it out. I got motors everywhere, but we don't have a motor for this truck, so I might try to go get a motor. We'll see. We'll see you tomorrow. There it is, folks. Dana 60, 2005, 6, whatever. 68 GMC, two-wheel drive, custom built, 8-inch front springs, trailing arm brackets, crossover steering, track bar, plated frame. Hell on wheels. What's going on, friends? It's a whole new day today. Wednesday morning, about noon. It's beautiful out. Heading for 50 degrees. It's a little windy, but it's a good day to fix some stuff outside. I got to do a few things real quick, because then I got to get Blake's truck over here, get some stuff out of the way so I can get Blake's truck moved up in here, get the back bumper on it. I got to check the rear end fluid from the last shop. I should have done that when it was on the lift. I never thought of it. And then get that thing ready to drive out of here. We got a few things to button up. Got to cover the old 4-speed shifter hole. I made a few mistakes, okay? Usually we just show you the progressive side of things, but there's been a few mistakes made here, and I'll recover because they're easy mistakes, but you'll see we got 2 log splitters here. I bought that log splitter holding my son in my hands. He was less than 1 year old, and I paid cash for that. It was like $1,000, 22-ton log splitter. That would have been 16 years ago. A few years later, my dad bought this log splitter because they had their own operation going on. Now we got 3 buildings. Jennifer's mom rents a house. My old house, she burns wood. It's a concrete block house. It gets cold. We burn wood in the barn to steady the heat on top of a torpedo heater. And our house is fairly good size, so we will run fire when it gets down below 20 in our house. So that being said, we need a lot of firewood, and I got it all bucked up. We use the excavator. I got it all chainsawed up. This is boring, I know. The mistake I made is my log splitter would not run. And I worked on the Briggs, and I worked on the Briggs. They say the greatest motor ever made was the Briggs. Well, I put a new carburetor on it. Wouldn't start. I took the top off. I cleaned up the flywheel. Wouldn't start. Multiple spark plugs. It wouldn't start. It would only run on ether. It would never take off on its own. Fresh gas, blowed through the tank, new carburetor, new primer ball, new filter, new everything, would not start. So the other day I thought, I'm getting tired of messing with this. I'm going to shut my garage door because all these leaves. That's dumb. But anyways, so you take the good with the bad. I don't want my garage full of leaves. So anyways, I got on Small Engine Warehouse, unbeknownst to myself, and I bought an engine. And it showed up the next day. EX625. 1 step. No prime, no choke, no oil change ever. That's what it says on it. It bolted right on. I had it on in less than probably 8 minutes. Come out to fire it up and it about broke my arm. You couldn't pull it. And I was like, well, that's weird. So I didn't shut my garage door all the way. Now it's stuck in the leaves in like a vacuum. It's aggravating. Anyways, what I ended up buying was a push mower engine. So I didn't know what the difference was. I just bought an engine. It showed up. This has a push mower handle brake on the flywheel. So I'm an inventive type person, so I took me a piece of copper TIG rod and pulled that over, and it grounds out when that's shut. When you're about ready to cut your big toe off and you let go of that thing in a panic, when you slide your foot under it, it shuts off immediate. So I bypassed that, and I thought, well, this is unhandy. I will just have to kill it by taking the spark plug wire off. But then I was going to invent a ground wire system with its own switch. I'm just ready to split some freaking wood, right? So it fires up down here. It's running perfect. It started right up. Second or third pull, it run perfect. So I put some air in the tire. I drive a couple 100 yards back to the wood pile. Go to start it. It never started again. I pulled it and pulled it and pulled it and pulled it and pulled it, and it never started again. There's no choke. There's no nothing. There's no way to. There's nothing. Nothing. So I'm real aggravated. So I did some research, and I made a mistake, and I bought the wrong engine. I bought the engine with the, what they call it, the blade brake. That's got a blade brake on it. Who knew? Who rebuilds push mowers? I still don't know why it wouldn't run. So I had to bite the bullet. Maintenance had to get us another engine. So this one we're going to try this again. And I'm not excited about these Briggs Stratton engines. They weigh about 5 pounds. That's chintzy. Listen. That's chintzy. That's in a bad spot for a log splitter. It does have an on and off switch. It has the same bolt pattern. This was laying in the box. The box had holes in it. I guess that's loose so you can aim it. So I get that. So that's no big deal. That came that way on purpose. No oil changes ever. It says they must have God's oil in there, sheep lubricant. They must have whale guts in there. I don't know. But I'm not going to bore you too much with it. There's 3 bolts that hold this on and a clutch. The clutch has an Allen screw with a drift pin. That's probably the hardest thing to deal with is getting that loose, getting that Allen screw to come, jam nut to come loose, and then get that off. It's got the same shaft sticks through the bottom. We're going to be right back with a running log splitter. All right, this is on the bottom here. This is a little different than the one that was on mine. So we just got to get this gear off. And then there's a drift pin in there that you're going to want to use on the next engine. I don't have the puller that I need. Let me grab a tripod. I don't have the puller I need. I might have one. I don't know. I get short-circuited when I need to use a puller. I probably have a puller, but then sometimes my brain just goes numb and I don't even look for it because I'm probably thinking like I don't have the right bolts or I don't have something that I need. So I just kind of improvise. This motor's junk. There was an incident with a Bobcat. Got lucky. I just used my table for all kinds of stuff. Probably pouring oil all over my pants. Jumped it! Then it came right off in my hand. We need this drift pin out of here. Drift pin. Allen. Let's go to the new engine. It's farm work. Should have brought the hammer. Alright, these are real simple to work on. So, a new log splitter probably now is $1,500. I'd say minimum. Same log splitter. And they make like 35 ton, but I'll be honest with you, I've had this one. It's this 22 ton, 2-stage cylinder. They'll split anything. You're just kind of wasting the money on the bigger one. That's in my opinion. They're probably over $2,000 or something. These are very good log splitters. The reason these two don't run is from neglect. Sitting outside. That one's set outside its whole life. This one has two. $300 for a new engine is way better than money for a brand new log splitter. Alright, we got her bolted down. We got everything but the exhaust tight. That's just a Phillips screw. It says no oil changes ever. Let's make sure it's got oil in it. It's upside down when I got it. I'm not even sure it's got oil in it. The oil's so clear you can't tell. I promise it was upside down, so I'm not even sure if it's got oil in it. Let's try it. We're going to run it and check the oil. There's 3, 4, 5, 6 pulls, 7 pulls. First pull once I turned it on. Sounds like it works good. Got a little color, not oil now. Now we can see it. Oil turned brown immediately. I'm gonna put a little in it. I don't like that. I still don't see a definite answer. The engine was literally upside down when it showed up in the box on my porch. Starting to see it on there now. All right, we will tighten down the elbow, point it straight down. That way nothing gets in it, no water. We're ready to go split some logs. The other mistake that I made was the other night when I put the intake manifold gaskets on White's truck is I used red silicone on the valve covers. And me and Jennifer drove it to Dayton the other day. Ran perfect, drove perfect, everything was good. Except we about blew it up because I looked down, the oil pressure was dropping. I got out, it was leaking oil. I think I got massive valve cover leaks. I know I do because nothing leaked on it before. So, and it's running good, so I know the intake's not leaking out the back. So we're going to pull these these valve covers off. I got some new gaskets. We're going to change the valve covers up. There's an interesting little story on the valve covers we're getting ready to put on it, so stay tuned. All right, I spared you the misery of watching me take the old valve covers off and razor blade and all the goop off. That was a mistake. I'm probably not going to do that again. Sometimes it's a good idea to goop your gasket to one side, but maybe not the others, both. So I got some gaskets here, and I got some valve covers here. It's a pretty easy job. I'm not gonna bore you with the whole job. Really, I'm just putting these in there with new gaskets and Kksevens laying there on the ground. That's where I keep them before I use them. Is on the ground. $25 now at your local parts store for a set of 350 valve cover gaskets. So, quick history lesson on Miller Tim, Mickey Thompson. When I was about 15 and a half or 16, this guy across the street was dating this lady, and she had a lot of boyfriends. And one of them, when he left, he had a 74 Chevy, 3/4 ton, white, camper special, green interior, green carpet, green seat. Somebody had taken off all of the racetrack trim and spot primered all the spots where the trim was. So I went over there and got the phone number from the mistress and got a hold of the guy. His name was Boyd. And Boyd, he came out, and the harmonic balancer had broke off the motor and hit the radiator, put a hole in the radiator, and the crank was mangled on the end. But that motor was blue, had aluminum intake, ended up having roller rockers. That motor had all kinds of parts in it, and it had these valve covers on it, which were painted blue at the time. And me and Boyd, I gave him $500 for the truck, and we pushed the truck over to my parents' driveway. I ended up taking that motor out and putting a crank in it. It was the first crank I ever put in a motor. I went to Dayton, bought a $150 crank, turned the motor upside down, left the heads on it, put the pistons in various stages of angle, and used electric tape to hold them up, and put the crank in by myself. Went along and derbied there for a while, and that was my derby motor, and it was a hot little candidate. And these valve covers were on it. At one point, they were orange, they were blue, they've been sandblasted, they've been hanging on my wall for the last 4 or 5 years. So we're going to put them on this truck. They could be cleaner, they could be more colorful, but they're cool old valve covers that have been a part of my basic mechanical hot rod trucks life. So that's why I'm throwing them on here. Those are cool. Goodrich V8, whatever. But people just online might call me say I got a Mexican engine. So might as well put these on. It's not a show truck, but if we pop the hood, at least we got aluminum intake, aluminum valve covers. So let's get those babies on there real quick, see if it still leaks when we're done. All right, we got them on. Fired it up, no leaks. Mickey Thompson's right again. I'm 46, so I've owned these valve covers over 30 years. So I don't even feel like I'm that old, but it's definitely real. So we got to add an air cleaner. We're going to hook up the electric choke, figure out why the heater's not working, fix the windshield wipers, and I think we got a radio. We're almost there. We're almost there. The All-American daily driver rides again. All right, we got Blake's back bumper on. I put a few clamps on the fuel line. I am inside making the cover for this in here now. I wonder if the inside lights work. No. I wonder if any of the lights work. Some cab lights, some bed lights. I don't see any headlights. One turn signal. I don't know. No headlights. Let's whack the old dimmer switch, see what happens. Dimmer on the floor. Oh, there we go. Those dimmers get corroded up. That's good news, though. Alright. All the dash lights work. She's turnkey operation. Gotta figure out why those don't work. Might just need wiggled. I guess tomorrow we'll take it for a drive, put some gas in it. Really the only thing, I'm just nickel and diming myself to death. Trying to get out of here before that pump goes bad. Need a lid for the fuel tank. I don't know what kind of fuel tank that is. Just need something on there, I guess. I don't know. But taillights work, no tags, no place for tags. Came that way. There's a piece missing on that bumper for your tag, I guess. That was never there. I would put a roll pan on it. I would build a cover for all that. We'll see. Maybe we'll be doing that later. I don't know. All right. Well, so far it's been a real productive day. It's only 6 o'clock. Feels like it's midnight out. Here's what we got going on. This is the stock boot ring from Blake's truck. 4-speed came out. We used a low car shifter and it wouldn't go where the original 4-speed went. So we was left with a hole. He says he's going to restore the interior, which would include new carpet or a new mat. And then basically that can be covered then. More better. What I did was cut out a circular octagon rectangle looking thing. And then I laid it under there and drilled the 4 holes in it. Take a little bit of paint. 3rd coat. It's going to interfere with the new boot. I just put a cheap boot down, rubber boot with a chrome trim ring. This is going to kind of interfere with that, so it's going to not look the best for now. But when he does the interior over again and redoes the floor, pull the boot up, get this trim ring gone, use this on the floor, existing holes if you want, go right back over it. This is a courtesy situation where I don't want him to have to drive home with a hole in the floor of his truck. So those are things you come across. It's not really part of the job, but you need to do it anyway. We got the log splitter working, and although I didn't show me splitting any logs, because that's real boring to show you, it did work. So I was leery of that engine, but I pulled it 6 times and didn't have it on. It started first pull as soon as I turned it on. I guess I was just getting it warmed up. So it seems like it's going to work, and that's good because we burn wood in this barn, her mom's house, and then our house when it gets cold. So this thing turned out real nice. There's a glare in here. This thing turns out real nice. There's the finished product. All the black, piece-n.grease, heater delete kit from when it was a race truck. Look at that. I'm real proud of that front cross member and that second cross member with the oil pan clearance. We're just ready to get the motor, get a motor and put it in. Probably ready for the doghouse. The core support's rough on this truck. They're only like $300, so I'll probably buy a new 68 GMC core support, and then I'm going to use my fenders. The rough look is what we're going for, but we want the mechanic work, and we want the suspension. We want everything that is safety or could kill you to be safe as it can be. So she's suspended. When I used to do that, those towers would go, whoa, like the Twin Towers, man. Them things would really, I shouldn't say Twin Towers, but they would sway, and now they don't sway at all. It's all locked in, welded together, 1/4 inch plate, box is back on. We're ready for a small block, big block, or an LS. Those are 350 or 454 positioned mounts. I just use pretty easy to use rubber top plate. I'll show you what I use instead of telling you what I use. You're like, Tim, that shouldn't be solid mounted. There should be rubber isolator on there. Well, you're right. But if you buy these, 3-bolt, that bottom plate goes on the back. They'll fit a big block or a small block, and everybody in the Chevy world knows that a big block or a small block will fit on the same motor mounts. Unless you got some F body or something weird. I've always heard something's weird there. But we got our transmission position just right. I guess this will fit a big block. This is tighter. I should have made it bigger, but it's not. The cross member, I should, they usually drop down. I should have done that, but I didn't want to get in the way of other stuff. So that's what's going to run for now. But I think we're good. This should be a quick build once I get the motor back in, get a few brake lines run, get that front end. We do want to do a re-gear, but we'll probably drive it before we do the re-gear, just so we know. Take it for a cruise once we get it done, get the motor in it. The axle, I don't want to, like, the axle gear change is something I don't want to do unless I have every single thing sitting here that I need, or somebody willing to take the job and get it back to me in a week or two. So that's that. That's it for this video. Sammy got sick, got a little fever. So he's chilling with mom. She was in the garage with me yesterday, but she was home with him today. So she's doing her part to keep everybody well, and we appreciate that. So thanks for watching. We're going to be ripping the streets in this thing before you know it. Peace and grease.